The day is the first day of October 2024. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to KBC Lunchtime News on the day that the Social Health Authority rolled out its new medical scheme with a clarion call for Kenyans to register. We'll be getting that detail plus much more in our bulletin. My name is Njue and Susan Thuku will be our sign language interpreter for this live newscast. Busia Senator Okia Omtata, together with Eliud Matindi and Magare Gikenyi, have filed a petition in court to stop the launch of the Social Health Insurance Fund, SHIF. The trio also sought to quash the contract between the government and the Safaricom Consortium, citing concerns over the lack of legislation to operationalize the fund. The group has argued that the subsidiary legislation required to operationalize the Social Health Insurance Act was not in place. The petitioners have requested the court to quash the subsidiary legislation that they cite are illegal and unconstitutional, being used to implement the Social Health Insurance Fund. Medics in Kiambu County have downed their tools, accusing the county government of failing to implement a return-to-work formula that has seen them go for 2 months without pay. Patients in level 4 and 5 hospitals in the county are most affected, as there are no health workers to attend to them. The strike appears to be a setback on the national rollout of the Social Health Insurance Fund, SHIF, that is ongoing in other parts of the country. The medics insist that they will not return to work until their dues are paid up to date, accusing the Kiambu County government of ignoring their plights.
This is very unusual, because normally Kiambu has been paying their salaries on the 2nd and 3rd of every month. So out of this, workers are uncomfortable, workers are unable to attend their duties, they are unable to fuel their vehicles or even to feed their families. We had other issues that are crucial, like now that we are shifting to SHIF from NHIF. The doctors that were covered by NHIF also needed to know who will be taking care of their illnesses.
Kiambu County, unfortunately, is one of the counties that is lagging behind its neighboring counties in the implementation of the return to work formula. Other counties have done almost everything that doctors had requested the government. Kiambu County has really put a lot of resources into building hospitals, but these hospitals are not staffed with enough, for example, doctors.
In other news, a man has been arraigned at the Makadara Law Court for allegedly defrauding a businessman of 1.7 million shillings. Nicholas Owor, a former employee at a local energy company, is alleged to have used the details of the company to unlawfully receive payment for fuel, which he never delivered. Principal Magistrate Irene Mugo released Owor on a bond of 600,000 shillings or a cash bail of 400,000 shillings. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has been urged to investigate the alleged misappropriation of funds in deposit-taking SACCOs. Bunge la Mwananchi alleges that some SACCOs are unable to account for millions of shillings worth of members' deposits. Bunge la Mwananchi President Francis Awino says a transparent audit to systems in SACCOs will help secure investments and weed out corruption in societies.
Raised by SACCO members are deeply alarming and point to a gross violation of financial accountability and governance principles. Some of the key issues that they raised include rampant misappropriation of funds and unethical behavior by SACCO officials, which have left members financially strained and disillusioned.
Sihitaji kukuomba ruhusa ndio nikutetee. Nahitaji kukutetea saa zenye na feel kuwa rights zako zimeviolatiwa.
In other news, a family in Pingilikani village, Kilifi South, is seeking government assistance to locate their kin, Francis Chelangali Junga, who has been missing since May. His family believes a long-standing dispute over ownership of a 32-acre piece of land may be linked to his disappearance, despite him having valid ownership documents. The family urges Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki to intervene. Njuga's eldest son, Moses, claims that the local authorities and police have not made any progress in investigations.
Alitoka kama yuaenda tu chooni na akaenda kabisa, hatumjui mahali yuko. DCI mwenyewe alikuja kwa hiyo shamba na dio na sijapata mwelekeo wote kabisa. Mimi nitafanyaje?
Nikachukua uamuzi wa kwenda kwa police post kupiga ripoti kuhusu mzee kuvunjwa pia kwa nyumba na kuwekwa kwa kuku dawa. Lakini polisi aliyempata pale hakuniandikia OB on that time. Akaniambia niende kwa chief. Nilipomweleza chief akaniambia amechoka na hizo stories za shamba. Kwa hivyo niende kutafuta msaada kwingine.
And still at the coast, members of Jubilee Party from Mombasa branch have applauded the High Court ruling that reinstated the Jubilee Party leadership to the faction led by Jeremiah Kioni. Speaking in Mombasa, Jubilee Deputy Party Leader Beatrice Gambo and National Assistant Secretary Yasir Noor said justice has prevailed to favor bona fide Jubilee officials of the Jubilee Party of Kenya.
Bae ilikuwa imefailiwa na chairman wetu na secretary general wa Mombasa, na hiyo zote zikawa consolidated, nikapewa ruli moja kule Nairobi. Hakuna tena kuulizwa wewe ni Jubilee ipi. Na kila wakati tumekuwa tukisema Jubilee ni moja. Party leader ni His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta.
This is a democratic country which is governed by law. Na alhamdulillah kesi leo imetukubali sisi. Kwa hivyo sisi utaona hapa ndo wale viongozi wa dhati wa Jubilee leo. Uhuru Kenyatta as our party leader, Morara as our vice chair, Kioni as our secretary general.
Jubilee, mbele pamoja. Jubilee, mbele pamoja. Jubilee, mbele pamoja.
And over 3,000 pregnant mothers have benefited from a program aimed at enlightening them on the journey to motherhood and how to bring up infants after birth. In a program that has been running for close to 1 year, the pregnant women have undergone sensitization on modern parenting, proper dieting, best exercises, how to spot signs of quick medical attention. Speaking during a pregnancy and baby fair in Westlands, Nairobi, Elizabeth Wanjiki, one of the program coordinators, said the opportunity gives mothers a chance with experts who shared information on the joy of pregnancy and best parenting practices.
Educating the mother. Part of the reason, the inspiration that came for the Baby Banda Fair was that there's a lot of information mothers need to know, and they don't find this information. So we do provide the platform for mothers to learn, to learn in terms of their pregnancy journey, to find also a support system in their journey, and of course to also enable them to meet other stakeholders who can support them and be part of their journey as they're trying to learn and understand what is happening to their body, to them, and how do I take care of this baby.
The response has been pretty good. I think a lot of new mothers have walked in, they have got to know the product, because some of these are first-time mothers who have never dealt with diapers before, so the understanding of motherhood and the diapers and maternity pads has been really good. They've received the product very well, and obviously the quality of the product speaks for itself.
The Kakamega County government will consult widely with leaders from the national government on development programs and projects to ensure they are completed on time. Governor Fernandez Barasa says the county administration will be meeting with officials from the national government every 3 months to discuss the available programs and projects, their progress and challenges to improve the economy of Kakamega County.
One of the key areas we have discussed is the completion of our level 6 referral hospital, which is a 750-bed capacity referral hospital. We are going to collaborate with the national government to ensure that the hospital is completed. We are also looking at Bukhungu International Stadium, which the national government has agreed to support the county to make sure that the stadium is completed. We have various opportunities available in the tourism sector. The county can tap on those opportunities to market our tourists sites, the Crying Stone, our tropical rainforest, which is the only rainforest existing in East and Central Africa, and many other opportunities in terms of positioning Kakamega as the investment hub.
Let's now shift gears to matters security, where a section of religious leaders in Busia County under different umbrellas has vowed to join other clergy across the country to reject in totality the religious organization's Bill 2024, terming it as punitive and geared towards disrupting religion in the country. Addressing the media in Busia, they faulted the bill, saying it undermines the religious gains in the country and contravenes the constitutional requirement of freedom of expression and association. The clergy have now vowed to move to court if the government does not heed their plea to drop the bill.
Acts of the government in terms of stamp duty.
Hii bill inazuia uhuru wa kuabudu na kushirikiana ambayo iko katika katiba ya Kenya. Hii bili inazungumzia kutoa ushuru kwa sadaka na gifts ambazo zinakuja kanisani. Kanisa haifanyi biashara. Kanisa is a non-profit making organization.
The bill in itself seeks to introduce several religions under one bill. And this is particularly not practicable because the issues affecting the specific religions ought to be regulated in specific legislations.
And now to security matters, where Narok County Government Patrick Ntutu has urged security forces to enhance their efforts in curbing crime within the county. This follows the tragic cold-blooded murder of 2 residents, which has left the community shaken. Speaking during the commissioning of various development projects initiated by the county in Keyan Ward, Ntutu emphasized the urgent need for the apprehension of those responsible for the heinous crimes in the area.
Narok Town, ile mambo ya insecurity kidogo tumepata karibu sasa watu kadhaa ambao wameuliwa kwa town. Na tunajua hiyo town yetu inapoendelea kuwa town kubwa, tuko na watu wengi ambao wanatoka mbali. Wito yangu tu ni moja, ni nyinyi wananchi msaidie wale ambao wanasimamia mambo ya security kuhakikisha ya kwamba kama kuna wageni ambao wanataka kuja kuchafua town yetu, hatutakubali. Juzi tumepoteza vijana wadogo sana ambayo bado hatujajua ni nini imefanyika. Lakini nashukuru pia serikali kwa sababu walichukua hatua. Wale ambao waliua ule kijana wa Rodabash na ule mwingine aliuliwa hapo awali kidogo, wote wameshikwa, wamewekwa ndani.
Environmental activists in Busia County are calling on locals to adopt clean energy as a safer alternative to charcoal burning, which has been identified as detrimental to their health. Data from Eco Wellness Organization shows that most locals use charcoal, leading to the prevalence of carbon dioxide in the air. The locals are further urged to engage in environmental conservation strategies to mitigate climate change.
We know that we are relying on using charcoal, we are using firewood as a source of energy. So it's high time we also join the rest of the population, the rest of the world in terms of now spreading the message of environmental conservation, whereby we come up with strategies to mitigate the impact that we are causing to our environment. We embrace clean energy. You know, we are so rich. We have a lot of organic waste that is just going untapped. So we will have to tap that organic waste so that now we come up with renewable source of energy which is sustainable in the long term and also which is clean and good for our health. I advocate members of Busia County, let us stop cutting trees. Let us embrace cutting trees. If you have to cut a tree, make sure that you plant, because we know the impact. We are contributing to the environment degradation.
The objectives of this company, of this organization, are very much in line with what we are doing currently in terms of environmental conservation, in terms of, we are talking of even the 15 billion trees which the current national government, through the President, His Excellency Dr. Ruto, is promoting.
Very well, and now let's take a look at the cabinet, where today we are looking at Suleiman Rashid Shakombo, who is a trusted lieutenant at the coast.
Born in 10th February 1940 in then Kwale District, now Kwale County, Suleiman Rashid Shakombo attended primary school in his native Kwale between 1949 and 1955 and secondary school between 1956 and 1959, after which he joined the Kenya Ports Authority as a cadet supervisor between 1960 and 1961, before landing a job with the Ministry of State for Provincial Administration and Internal Security as a district assistant at Independence in 1963. After serving for a decade, 1 year as a cadet supervisor 1960 to 1961, and 9 as a district assistant from 1963 to 1972, he was promoted to the post of district officer in 1973. 5 years later, in 1978, he was promoted to district commissioner, serving in the capacity in many parts of the country until 1981, when he was elevated to the position of undersecretary in the Ministry of Culture and Social Services. He was a totally unknown entity in Likoni before he entered the political arena in 1997. He left the provincial administration and backed by a little-known Shirikisho party, unseated Caliph Salim Movumo, who was from the more popular Forum for Restoration Democracy Kenya, Ford Kenya. Shakombo became the first candidate in the country to win a parliamentary seat on Shirikisho Party of Kenya ticket. Shortly before the 2002 general election, he strategically and publicly defected to the ruling party KANU without notifying Shirikisho only months to the polling day. Shirikisho replaced Shakombo as chairman with Mashengu Wamwachofe. Come election time, Shakombo changed course, walking to Mwai Kibaki's National Rainbow Coalition, NAC. He was an astute reader of the political barometer, and come 27 December, he comfortably retained his seat on NAC ticket. Towards the end of 2005, he was appointed Minister of State for National Heritage and Culture in the office of the Vice President. He impressed President Kibaki as a performer at the constituency level. President Kibaki lauded him and his constituency development fund team for making good use of the kitty, particularly in the building of girls' schools. It was during his tenure as a Minister of State for National Heritage and Culture that a historical artifact removed from Kenya years before and exhibited in a United States museum was returned. He was among the leaders who in 2007 teamed up to champion the establishment of a university at the coast. He was an important cog in President Kibaki's campaign at the coast in 2007. Shakombo lost his Likoni seat to Mwalimu Masood Mwahima of ODM in the 2007 general election. President Kibaki appointed Shakombo as chairman of Kenya Petroleum Refineries Limited in 2009, a post to which he was reappointed for a year by President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2015. Jackie Wambiru, The Cabinet.
Very well, Suleiman Rashid Shakombo graces this week's edition of The Cabinet. Don't forget, next week on Monday to watch The Cabinet. Well, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more news, including business and sports.
Are you a talented artist? Or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with your music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream. All for free. Studio Mashinani, ride any talent.
Ever crazy. Undoubtedly entertaining. And mind-boggling. We are doomed. We are doomed. Members of Parliament, we are doomed. I'm telling you. The savage netizens. Capturing that unique moment.
Welcome back to KBC Lunchtime News, and many thanks for keeping us company. Let's move on. Health Cabinet Secretary Dr. Deborah Barasa has expressed deep concern over the alarmingly low registration numbers for the Social Health Authority (SHA) insurance scheme in Kakamega County. Speaking at the official launch of the initiative at Moliro Gardens, Dr. Barasa, alongside SHA Director General Dr. Elijah Washira, urged residents to seize the opportunity for health coverage. Kakamega County Governor Fernandez Barasa echoed the sentiments, highlighting the need for collaborations to complete the Kakamega County Referral Hospital. Kakamega County residents voiced frustrations, claiming the program has not been communicated and calling for better public outreach.
Hata waliokuwa kwa NHIF tukiendelea kuhamisha, mnaenda tu hospitali na mtaonekana. Hakuna haja ya mtu kurudishwa nyumbani. So wale wa kansa, wale wa dialysis, wa mama wajawazito, tunawaomba endeni hospitali muhudumiwe.
Muweze kujiandikisha kwa wingi. Ukiangalia population ya Kakamega tuko watu karibu milioni 2.5, na wale ambao wamejisajili ni watu wachache sana, only 23,000. 23 ni watu wachache sana ukilinganisha na kaunti zingine.
Kama ofisi imehamishwa imeenda kwa SHA, na hiyo mitambo ilikuwa na pesa zetu ya NHIF, hawa ndio wangeendelea kutubadilisha kwa SHA. tungekuja tena tujiregister upya kwa sababu ni sisi ni member wa NHIF.
Serikali inaenda kama inayumba. Kwa maana wafanyi kazi yenye tunaona kama inaweza kuwa mzuri. Najaribu kuregister wanasema hata sijui nini. Sasa hiyo kitu inakushinda. Sasa hiyo ugonjwa kinishika. Mimi niko na kadi ya NHIF. Sasa nikiwa mgonjwa nitaenda wapi? Ni mimi nimelipa pesa huko. Ni wanasema tuende kwa SHA.
Moving on, Marafa Health Kitchen stands as a breathtaking testament to the raw beauty and geological wonders that define the Kenyan coastline. Just a short drive from the bustling town of Malindi, the hidden gem beckons adventurers and natural enthusiasts alike to explore the mesmerizing landscape. This week on Magical Scenes, we focus on attractions in Malindi. Take a look.
A natural wonder, Marafa Health Kitchen, known locally as Satan's Kitchen, is a striking canyon formed by years of erosion and the relentless forces of nature. The vibrant hues of orange, red, and yellow that adorn the cliffs create a stunning visual spectacle that changes with the shifting sun. As the day progresses, the colors dance and shimmer, offering a changing and enjoyable mixture or pattern of beauty that captivates the heart and soul. Tourists are greeted by a rugged terrain interspersed with unique rock formations and deep ravines, inviting them to embark on an unforgettable journey through this otherworldly landscape.
It's amazing. It's a surreal place. It's fantastic.
It's actually a mini Grand Canyon, and it is just amazingness of beauty.
The canyon's dramatic cliffs rise sharply, creating an awe-inspiring backdrop for photography and exploration. Marafa Health Kitchen additionally holds cultural significance for the local communities. The legends surrounding the canyon tells of ancient tribes and the spirits that inhabit the land.
Wageni wengi sana ambao tumefika nao hapa wanaenjoy na hii mandhari ya hapa na ile history ambao wanaelezewa.
Local guides often share these stories, enriching the experience for visitors and fostering a deeper connection to the area's history.
Hell's Kitchen is the epitome of tourism center. This season at least we are receiving 60 to 70 foreigners a day, plus the local tourists around this place.
As you traverse the rocky paths, the sounds of nature envelop you. Chirping birds, rustling leaves, and the distant call of the ocean remind one of the vibrant ecosystem that thrives in this unique environment. Marafa Health Kitchen arguably stands out beyond just a geological wonder. It is a celebration of nature's artistry and a reminder of the beauty that exists in our world. As travelers flock to this stunning destination, they are treated to a memorable experience that connects them to the rich tapestry of life that thrives in Malindi.
Truly, truly breathtaking. Don't forget next week for another showpiece of Magical Scene by Irene Mchuma Odim. But to the corridors of justice now, where activist and lawyer Morara Kebaso has been released on a cash bail of 50,000 shillings. And the court will rule on 4th October whether he should be admitted to the charges as per the charge sheet presented by the Director of Public Prosecution or not, after his lawyers argued that he shouldn't take place. What happened a little bit earlier today in Milimani Law Courts. The lawyer and activist was arrested yesterday at his office in Kahawa Sukari and was driven to the police station. He has been presented in court today but has not been able to take plea, but has been released on a cash bail of 50,000 shillings. My colleague is on that bit, Ruth Wamboi, and will be bringing us to speed on exactly the happenings there at the court. The pictures there that were able to grasp earlier on at the Milimani Law Courts. Let's make sense of shillings and cents in business. The 2024 Africa Wealth Report says Kenya is the 4th wealthiest country in Africa, which has prompted financial service providers to tailor services for the affluent in society. Absa Bank Kenya has revamped its affluent segment with an expanded differentiated offering by classifying consumer banking in 3 segments. They include a retrenchment cover and up to 50-day interest-free period.
That is subtle, but it's completely fundamental to move from a product-led business to a customer segment-led business. Because we fundamentally believe, if any product will make sense unless you understand your customers.
We've really engaged our customers to understand them very intimately, to understand what their needs are, what their challenges are, what their fears are, what their ambitions are. And we've tried to make sure that we understand what it is that they're looking for from a financial partner. We have an array of products that we've curated for this segment of customers. We have some wealth advisors who are also working with these segments to ensure that the financial planning that's provided is very customized and very personal to suit the needs of our individual clients.
Now, Kenyans will start residing in some of the housing units under the Affordable Housing Program by the end of this year. Government spokesperson Isaac Mwaura spoke as he toured the ongoing construction of 1,050 units at King's Boma Estate in Ruiru town.
The Ruiru project has 1,050 units, which range from studios and 2 and 3 bedrooms, will be sold from 1.2 million shillings to 4.5 million shillings. According to the government spokesperson Isaac Mwaura, some of the affordable houses will be ready for occupation by the end of the year. Mwaura said the process of selling the houses will be fair and will be on a first-come, first-served basis, adding that priority will be given to those in dire need of the affordable units.
There is an integrated development housing project that is going all the way to the lake. We've been to Bondeni in Nakuru as the office of the government spokesperson, and now we are here and more and counting, because what we are doing is also to focus on creating this awareness so that people can see the value of what the government is able to do for them.
Mwaura affirmed that the projects are contributing to massive economic transformation across the country through creation of jobs and promoting local business.
Nimeweza keep some skills. Kuna some craft yenye nimemaster nimejua vitu kadhaa kusema ukweli. Na hii project at least I'm very sure ikisema ni kufika next year, hata mimi niko na hiyo courage ya kwenda huko nje nitafute kazi.
Wakati hizi zimetokea na nikapata, nilikuwa nishasomea hiyo plumbing, nikaona ni opportunity ya kufanya hiyo profession, maana nilikuwa nimeisomea.
Nikapata mtu wangu ameingia high school, saizi nalipa, nyumba sisumbuliwi na mtu, sikosi cha kukula. Alafu baada imenikibisa sababu najua niko na mind ya kusema naamka naenda mahali, imenipea kazi.
Martini Maslin for Lunchtime News.
United Kingdom investors are asking the government for a predictable tax regime to create a conducive investment environment. British Deputy High Commissioner to Kenya, Leigh Stubblefield, says there is need to streamline the tax regime in the country to improve investor confidence.
And so obviously I think very recently we know that the revenue picture here has been challenging with the finance bill, and that the Kenyan government has sought to increase the amount of revenue, domestic revenue that it generates, as well as from international firms. And I think that creating a more predictable and well understood revenue process, a taxation system for Kenya can really help businesses understand better what they face. And the UK is a large supporter of the Kenya Revenue Authority, and we're working with them to make that happen.
So there are some solutions that they might be overrun by UK farmers. Also a view on that, and maybe.
Oh, I'm very sorry, that's slightly outside of my area of expertise, but I have a good colleague here from the Department of Farming and Rural Affairs, and I will refer that back to you. My apologies, I don't know the answer to that question.
So you're calling for a predictable tax regime in that UK?
Yes, I think a predictable tax regime would definitely help.
So, and how many companies have shown willingness to work in Kenya, to maybe access subsidiaries in Kenya?
Now that's a really good question, and one you'd have to ask to Farida from the British Chamber of Commerce. I know we have about 150 British businesses already working here. It's quite difficult because they're not just British, obviously, they're multinational organisations.
And to how do we position Kenya as an entry and gateway of this FDI from foreigners, and especially from UK, to come through Kenya to the rest of Africa.
There's a bilateral agreement between Kenya and the UK, and one of the things, some of those issues there, we are still in negotiations, but I believe this is the very good beginning between Kenya and UK, because we believe some of those issues will be able to be resolved.
Stakeholders in the plastic industry are being challenged to innovate and create sustainable solutions to lead the way in responsible solid waste management. Cooperatives and MSMEs Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya spoke during the inauguration of the 9th Complete Plastic Exhibition at the KICC, where he acknowledged the sector's role in job creation, particularly for the youth, with an estimated 40,000 directly and 200,000 indirectly employed. He, however, called for state and non-state actors to collaborate in responsible waste management.
Investing in waste management technologies, we can create a robust market for recycled materials, reduce our dependency on virgin plastics, and stimulate economic growth.
It is also the responsibility of the industry to comply with the legislation and even go beyond by embracing extended producers' responsibility voluntarily.
And across borders, Kenya and Ghana are working to open new avenues for growth to increase cross-border trade between the two countries. Oscar Shioni, marketing manager, Ghana Trade House, says the fostering economic relations between Ghana and Kenya can lead to more diverse and resilient trade relationships, opening up new avenues for growth and stability in an increasingly interconnected marketplace.
$9.53 million in 2022. Promoting cross-border trade supports broader economic integration across regions. For participating businesses, this can lead to more diverse and resilient trade relationships, opening up new avenues for growth and stability in an increasingly interconnected marketplace.
We'll be having series of anniversary happening to different malls. We have Sari Center, Yaya, we have Mombasa as well. We also have a Daba that will be happening in Tanzania, and the anniversary Daba itself will be happening on the 14th of October. So that's when we'll be now showcasing and doing Made in Ghana products here at Samia Business Park.
The Ghana Trade House in Nairobi acts as a networking hub, facilitating connections between exporters and local importers, retailers, and distributors. This highly ambitious strategy chases a revenue target of $25.3 billion by the year 2029.
We are going to be having activations within malls in Nairobi and in Mombasa as well. We will be sharing our products with Nairobi, Mombasa, and also we'll be having a business forum in Tanzania as well.
They were speaking during the one-year anniversary of the Ghana Trade House in Nairobi.
Players in the construction sector have intensified calls for a shift from traditional building methods to more environmentally friendly options such as precast panel construction. Global Precast Panel CEO George Mutua says alternative building materials speed up the building process and minimizes waste and energy consumption. And in sports, Spain-based defender Amos Wanjala believes that his experience playing for Athletic Club Torellano, combined with quality training from local coaches, will boost Kenya's performance in the upcoming AFCON Under-20 SECAFA qualifiers. The lanky defender joined the Spanish fourth-tier club earlier this year, where he has had incredible growth in his career. Speaking after a friendly match between Rising Stars and FKF Premier League side FC Talanta at Police SACCO Stadium, the Rising Stars narrowly lost 1-0. Wanjala expressed optimism about the team's chances in the tournament. Meanwhile, US-based forward Luis Ingavi has called on Kenyans to rally behind the team, highlighting the positive training environment facilitated by the local coaches. The AFCON Under-20 SECAFA qualifiers will run from the 6th to the 20th of October in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Kenya is drawn in Group A alongside host Tanzania, Rwanda, Sudan, and Djibouti. Defending champions Uganda are drawn in Group B with South Sudan, Burundi, and Ethiopia.
Right now, I'm playing in a good club in Spain, Valencia, called Athletic Torellano. I've gained a little bit experience from where I'm coming from and also here. So, like, we are all here to learn and, you know, to play as a team and to win.
Everyone knows how to play. We have good coaching staff, and the condition, the environment we are in, everything is good. So we expect much better things. So the Kenyans should just trust on us because we are going to do a great thing this season.
And in martial arts, Ulinzi Judo Club are the overall winners of the 4th Senior National Team Selection Championships held at Kasarani. Ulinzi dominated the Senior Championship to win 6 out of 14 categories, as Prison Judo Club came in second, followed by Kajiado Stars Judo Club. In the Cadet National Team selections, Kajiado Stars took the overall title, followed by Kenyatta University Club and Kajiado North. Malindi Judo Club won the junior selections as Green Garden took the second spot, followed by Kajiado Stars, who tied with the Ravin Judo Club. The national judo selection trials continue later on this month. And the Champions League action resumes tonight with Arsenal at home Emirates to PSG in a crucial encounter at the Emirates Stadium after a barren draw in their opening match against Atalanta last week.
The French giants Paris Saint-Germain tonight in their first home game of their UEFA Champions League campaign. The Gunners came out with a goalless draw away to Atlanta thanks to David Raya's incredible double save. PSG on the other hand lost to Girona thanks to a late own goal from former Tottenham goalkeeper Paulo Cazzaniga. Tonight's fixture, Calafiori and Takehiro Tomiyasu should be back from injuries. In other matches, Slovan Bratislava will take on former champions Manchester City. Borussia Dortmund will play Celtic while Barcelona will host Young Boys. Inter Milan will also be at home against Red Star. AC Milan will be away to Bayern Leverkusen, while PSV will battle it out with Sporting CP. Their UEFA Champions League campaign. The Gunners came out with a goalless draw away to Atlanta thanks to David Raya's incredible double save. PSG on the other hand lost to Girona thanks to a late own goal from former Tottenham goalkeeper Paulo Cazzaniga. Tonight's fixture is Calafiori and Takehiro Tomiyasu should be back from injuries. Inter Milan will also be at home against Red Star. AC Milan will be away to Bayern Leverkusen, while PSV will battle it out with Sporting CP.
The second round of the Champions League resumes this week. And of course, it's a new format. And you can trust KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner, for all the sights, sound, and all the happenings in those fields. My name is Njue, and our sign language interpreter has been Susan Thuku. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out our social media spaces for this news plus much more. Do have yourself a blessed afternoon.
Welcome to the Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation, or KDIC, a state corporation established under the KDI Act Cap 487C. KDIC, safer, stronger, together.
Mwanamke, kwa nini unisikizi? Labda ninakuwa kiziwi, ama ni hao unaosema ndo hayana maana. Eti nini?